guys. I wanted to share with you my latest thoughts or process what I've been doing as far as pricing jobs. Any of you new guys that haven't been in it for very long, or maybe you have and you still stress out over how much to price jobs, you know, I do it like this. My process when somebody calls me or sends me a text or an email and says they've got some work for me, what I have been doing is they'll tell me what they've got, or I'll ask them, you know, what all you got, because they want to know obviously how much it's going to cost. I ask them what they've got. They can either send me some pictures, tell me, and I say, okay, well, I'll ride out there and look at it, and then I'll give you an idea of how much that's going to cost. So, you know, I schedule time to go out there. So get in the truck, drive out there, and I live kind of out in the country, so I'm usually at least 20 minutes before I get where I got to go. I get there, I look at what they've got, I start thinking, how long is this going to take, what materials are going to be involved, and unfortunately, usually I would tell them, you know, I'll get back with you within 24 hours and let you know what it's going to cost to take care of this job. So then I go home, and all that day and all that night I'm stressing over how much to charge them. You know, is it, you know, am I going to charge enough? Am I not going to charge enough? You know, are they going to be shocked when I tell them, am I going to lose this job? So anyway, then I get to the job if they accept it, and then, you know, while I'm working, you know, let's say I assumed it would take me 3 hours. Well, after the 3 hour mark, or leading up to the 3 hour mark, the whole time, you know, it's in the back of my mind that's pushing towards the front as the clock ticks. You know, am I going to get this done in time? Because if not, now I'm losing money. Or, you know, I didn't think about this material, I got to go get that. So, you know, now I'm thinking the whole time, am I losing money? Am I making money? Can I go up on my? It's just too stressful, and it's too frustrating, and I can't focus on what I want to do. So anyway, like the rest of you, you probably get on the internet and you look around. You're on YouTube, you're on Google, you're looking for handyman stuff. So I'm sure everybody else has found this. If you hadn't, it's a decent resource. It's called Handyman Startup, and the guy on there, Dan Perry, talks about some different things. Now I'm not sure if I am totally on board with him or not. You know, sometimes I wonder if he's more interested in having a blog or selling something than he is an actual handyman. But he interviewed a guy on his show, and it was a while back. I think it was 2012, and the guy's business was in Chicago, Illinois, and it was called Punch List. So he interviewed him on there, and he started talking about how he priced. And this guy told him, he said, well, I have I think called a traveling fee. I have a traveling fee of $38, and for every hour of work, it's $86 an hour, and then it's plus material. I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. What is that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 120 something, 124, 130. I forgot what the two numbers were. Yeah, 126. Anyway, 126 the first hour, and $86 an hour after that. He said what he did was he just got on the phone and he called every handyman close by to him and found out what they were charging, and he just kind of put it in the middle somewhere. And ever since, he said, you know, when people will call, he'll tell them his price right out of the gate, and they either accept it or they don't. And he said the majority of the time they do accept it. So anyway, that it stuck in my mind that would be a great thing if I could get people to swallow that. You know, I wouldn't have to worry about that stuff. So anyway, I know I'm rambling. So I decided that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try this. I called or text every handyman, or at least about 10. It was 8 in my area, in my county, and I asked them what they charge an hour to do random tasks, and I found out what their prices were. So I decided I'm gonna go with an hourly rate, and I'm not gonna tell you what my rate is because it's gonna be different for everybody else. You need to find that out on your own. But I've decided I'm gonna charge an hourly rate, and the first hour is an hour and a half, or time and a half. So if I were charging $100 an hour, my first hour would be $150, and it's not that much. I'm just giving you round numbers. So the first hour, you build in that traveling time to get there, and then for every hour after that, it's your hourly rate plus materials. And I had 3 jobs that I was supposed to go give an estimate on already. So I contacted those people and told them, said, listen, I know I'm supposed to come out there and give you an estimate, But just so you know, these are my rates. This is what I charge for the first hour. This is what I charge for every hour after that, and that plus materials. If you're okay with that, I'll be prepared to work when I get there. And everyone so far, and I've done 5, everyone so far has been, that's great, come on. And I've even got my first Google review that was a 5-star review, and she said the price was reasonable. So now when I get in my truck, I'm going to a job right now, when I get in this truck, I know, and the customer knows exactly what they're gonna have to pay, exactly what I'm gonna charge. I don't worry about that. So now when I'm on the job, I'm focused on one thing, and that's getting the job done good and getting it done right, and being efficient. Now, I'm not gonna take phone calls when I'm at a job. I just don't think that would be right, whatever, ethical, whatever. And I hustle. When I go back and forth to my trailer, and I do that anyway, I'm getting on with it. But for example, yesterday I was under a house putting up some ductwork, and I needed one more piece of strapping to get that ductwork up. Now, if I was in a hurry, I might would have been like, I would have at least considered not doing that, but I'm not in a hurry anymore. I'm efficient, but I'm not in a hurry. I'm not cutting corners. Not that I ever was, but I'm not even thinking about cutting corners, because time and money and all that is not on the forefront of my mind. When I get to the job, I look at my watch. When I get done, I look at my watch, and that's the end of it. So that has really, really, really improved my life. And it's funny because now I can think about other things that I need to think about for this business, as far as advertising or whatever else. Not to mention that I don't go on any more jobs just to give an estimate, or you get there, so that trip was a waste of time. That you drove 20 minutes there, you drove 20 minutes back, that's 40 minutes that you didn't get paid for. Now, if somebody just insists on getting an estimate, I want you to come look, I don't know, that's fine, I'll come out there, but my first hour's rate is this amount of money, and if you decide that you want me to do the work, I will prorate that and I'll get busy. But you're not going to go on as many calls, I wouldn't think, if you go to somebody's house and they say, well, goodness gracious, that's just too much. I don't guess I'm gonna do that. Well, if they go to your house, if you go to their house, they mean business. And as far as an hourly rate, there's some things that you don't think about, and at least this could be an arguing point, or something for the customer to consider. Let's say you work like me. I also work in a manufacturing here in town. I make a certain amount of money an hour, a dollar amount per hour. Now, what I'm charging is well over that amount, and I make a decent living where I'm at, but what I'm charging an hour for a handyman is well over that amount. But you got to think about it. If anybody says, my goodness, that's a lot of money. Sorry, I'm on a country back road. What you got to think about, number one, my company offers me a 401k plan they contribute to. So that's not something that's in my normally hourly rate. So that's one thing that nobody's, as a handyman, nobody's contributing to me. Number two, nobody's offered me a health plan. Nobody's contributing any money to a health plan. Number three, nobody's giving, I'm not getting any paid vacations. Okay? I said health plan, but number 4 is my liability insurance. At my manufacturing job, if I get hurt on the job, they're going to pay for that. They're going to take care of me. On this job, it's on me, so I've got to cover that insurance. Number 5, where I work at, if a piece of equipment tears up, they pay for that equipment to be fixed. On this job, as you know, nobody's paying us. If my saw tears up, or if I need a new blade, or if I got to get a new tool, that's all the costs that I have to absorb. And I'm on my time driving back and forth. Now, I know your company doesn't pay for you to drive unless you just have something for that. But anyway, those 5 things are things to consider when you set your prices. You can't say, well, I make $20 an hour where I work now, so that's what I'll charge an hour to be a handyman. You're not going to make it. It's not going to. You might make it, but you're going to be working. You're actually going to be working for about $12 an hour. So anyway, that has really, really taken a burden or weight off my shoulders. And like I said, I was nervous at first that this wouldn't go over very well, but it has. So if you want to look that up on Handyman Startup, just find his podcast, and it'll be the one about pricing. But that's all for now. My time's about out. But if you'll subscribe or comment, I would appreciate it. Thanks.